Good morning. I'm Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer, and I say good morning because it is morning when I'm filming this. I've got my coffee, so all is well. It's 6:51 a.m. on Saturday, July 13th, 2013. Several of my fellow Infusionsoft certified consultants asked me to do a review of Zoho versus Infusionsoft. So I want to spend a few minutes here showing you what I've uncovered here in the last couple of days of this evaluation. I started using Zoho actually back around, 2006, maybe even late 2005. I used the free version when I was beginning to lay the foundation for the Sales Whisperer. I was transferring things. I had all of my contacts inside of Outlook. Fortunately, they were at least somewhat categorized, and I needed a free, or affordable. Free is always affordable. CRM to begin to transition all the data so it was secure as I began to build the Sales Whisperer. So I have used Zoho for many years, although in the last couple of years I haven't really had a need to get into it. So I reactivated my account. As you can see here, I've got a little logo, the Sales Whisperer up there, and I've got Infusionsoft multiple tabs here on the other side. I say this all the time, in that very few, if any, businesses need a CRM. CRMs are literally nothing more than a Rolodex in the sky that may let you transfer or track some opportunities in your pipeline. Some may let you do some quoting. Okay, some may now let you send some emails, which we'll review. But the key to the growth of any business, which is why Salesforce.com just purchased ExactTarget for $2.5 billion, and ExactTarget last year purchased Pardot for automation. So the key is automation. So the big boys know that now. Maybe it's just a natural iteration of the business. Maybe Infusionsoft has had some impact, which I'd like to think we have. But automation is the key. Putting some data in the cloud is just the beginning. Sure, you need a CRM as a repository, as your central database to store the contacts and the prospects and the leads and the clients. But without automation, there's no way any business can scale affordably, efficiently, predictably, and profitably. Okay, so with that said, looking at Zoho, let me start with the simple pricing and their different options. I'm going to show you right now in my account, I've got the enterprise account, which you see here. It's $35 per user per month. Quite affordable, right? But is it? Infusionsoft, hop over on this side. If you were to get their deluxe e-commerce, you'd be looking at $2.99 a month for 4 users, $3.79 a month for 5 users. So 5 users times 35, what would that be? 140. That would be $175 for 5 users versus $3.79. So okay, a couple $100 a month more. Does that mean sales or Zoho's the way to go? Not necessarily, because let's look at everything that you get or you don't get. First of all, like I said, you can see up here in the top right, it's July 13th now, 6:55 a.m. If I wanted help, which I clicked right up here, said, hey, I want some help. Because when do entrepreneurs tend to work? All the time, right? So I get a lot done in the evenings. I get a lot done early mornings. I get a lot done on weekends. I wake up early, kids are still asleep. I can knock out hours of work in an efficient, undisturbed, non-distracted manner. So Saturday morning, Zoho's help, non-existent. Infusionsoft, I log into my app. Here I am, go up to the menu up here, support chat online, bing, here they come. Okay, so wait for your live chat and the agent, hey, I've been connected to Siren or something. I will not want to be rude. Good morning. Just making a video. Thanks for being online. Smiley face. I'm doing a comparison. Zoho. They are closed while you are open, helping entrepreneurs grow. Smile, you're on camera. All right. So support is on. You've got 24/7 chat support, and you've got phone support during the week, which is nice. I use it all the time, despite using Infusionsoft since 2008, being certified with them. There's still there's questions I have, so it's nice to know that you're supported. Okay, so that's the first thing. Let's go through, again, looking online as we scroll through your sale. They say you have Salesforce automation, so I'm going to jump into that. And one of the things, really, the way they do it is with macros. Being a long-time database user, spreadsheet user, one of the few things I like about Microsoft is Excel. And the funny thing is, Apple basically helped them make it back in the day. Go read Steve Jobs' book. But macros are just not very easy to use. And one of the complaints we heard with Infusionsoft over the years, they call it Confusionsoft. But in the spring of 2012, they came out with the campaign builder. So all of your creations now are drag and drop. Okay, you want a web form created, right there. You want to send, have an email go out. As soon as somebody fills that out, great, send them an email. You want to send a voice broadcast right after that? Fantastic. You want to wait a day, add the little timer there. You want to wait a day and then assign a task for a salesperson to follow up. Okay, boom, boom, wait 1 day, weekday. Okay, just that simple with the drag and drop and the GUI. Versus, again, like I said, Salesforce, or I got Salesforce on the brain. They're the big 800-pound gorilla. But building things through macros just are not that easy. They're not that intuitive. And if things are not easy, if they're not intuitive, and if you don't have support when you're making these things at 6 in the morning or 10 at night or over the weekend, you're not going to do it. You're going to get stuck. You're going to get frustrated. That task will fall by the wayside, and then it won't happen. So yes, you've got the ability to create some automation, but not the type of automation I'll show you with Infusionsoft. So if it's hard, if it's not intuitive, and if you don't have support, as far as I'm concerned, you don't really have automation. Okay. This thing they call Pulse is very cool, but that's basically what Infusionsoft is doing with their lead scoring. Okay, so if I go to my my dashboard and home, you can see Kristen. These different people that lead scoring, so it's the same type of thing. They're just calling it. They're basically saying, do they have a pulse? How strong is their pulse? So it's a cool feature. As we scroll through here, email templates, email opt-out, great. Mass email, 1,000 a day. Well, what happens if you use this for a while? Like if you look at me, I have 40,364 contacts right now. Now, granted, I've used the system since 2008. But I've done it as a sole proprietor, as a one-man band until just recently. So if a motivated entrepreneur can build up those types of numbers, what can a company do? So if you can only send 1,000 a day, what happens if you're going to a trade show or you're having a sale? It's Black Friday and you're doing a promotion. Right now, it would take me 41 days to email my entire list, even using the Enterprise Edition. So what does that mean? So now I either have to spend more money with them to get the features that I need, which brings me closer to the Infusionsoft pricing here. Okay, or the worst case scenario is I'm going to have to get a third-party mass email tool. And yes, there are some inexpensive ones out there. There are some expensive ones out there, but the point is I now have to get two databases integrated. which adds complexity, which greatly increases the likelihood of things falling through the crack. It's just not a good thing. Customer support, case and solutions, that's cool. Infusionsoft doesn't necessarily have that, although you can build in some workflows inside of the campaign builder to track that. But Infusionsoft is not a project management tool in that regard. Inventory management, both have it. Products, do quotes. Hey, look at that, zoom right in. Quotes, invoices like that. That's fine. Document library, you can share files in both. Although this file versioning looks like it's pretty cool. I think it's kind of like a Google Docs where you have one thing uploaded. Infusionsoft does not do that. Analytics, you look at reporting. As I scroll through Infusionsoft, let me zoom in here. As you look at each section, you have reporting, obviously for CRM, for marketing, for e-commerce, and even for admin. You can create custom reports on the fly, so reports aren't that big of a differentiator. Here's a biggie though, web forms. Web to lead, web to contact, web to case form. You're limited to 20, 20, and 20. I have no idea why that is. Again, I've pulled up mine. I have 191 web forms right now, and this is not counting the web forms that exist inside of the 77 campaigns I have built. So again, if one guy can create this much, with a small team of I have had some contractors helping me over the years. So I didn't build 100% of this on my own, but most of it I did. But still, if a small business like mine can have this many, why is Zoho limiting you to so few? The idea is to expand, to be everywhere, to constantly be testing, maybe have multiple domains, multiple landing pages, variations of offers. We talk about split testing, A/B testing. This is a big no-no in my opinion. So few ways to generate and capture leads. Default storage, Infusionsoft doesn't limit you, so theoretically you could end up spending a little more money as you grow. If I zoom in over here and you look at my home and then files, I never even worry about the number of files. I have a handful there, my files, company files. These are like my free reports, and then different images I use for landing pages, web forms, things like that. So a lot more. I use a lot of space here, relatively speaking. But again, you will run up to some limits with Zoho. Data admin, it's all basically the same. Security profiles, administration, basically the same. Product customization, basically the same. Here, though, like I talked about how I opened, this workflow management, these rules, these macros, these alerts, tasks, if it's not easy, you're not going to do it. So, I logged in here. Here's my actual Zoho account. When you go into these macros, these are their instructions. What if you want to create a set of actions that sends an email, creates a task, updates a field in the record with a specific value? You need to be able to do that automatically. Doing this, again, you need to check the availability for the permissions in your edition, and that's kind of the same with Infusionsoft. But what modules are supported? Leads, contacts, and potentials are the only ones where Zoho supports this. But again, the creation of the macros, I've done this inside of Salesforce.com for years. I've used it for years. I still do with some clients. It's basically the same process. It's just like creating macros in Excel. And if I had to bet $1 to a donut, most of you watching this video have never even created a macro inside of Excel. And if you have, it's probably been years. And even if you have, again, it probably doesn't just roll off your tongue how to make that happen. Now, it's not terribly difficult inside of Zoho. You go into your setup and you go into automation here, okay, and you say, what do I want to do? So you can create the rules, alerts, tasks, field updates, webhooks, and follow-ups. So if you want to create a follow-up, configure, what do we do? Webinar registration. Put in the module for leads, action, follow. Okay, now what? Okay, the only thing I can click on is related rules. Not related. Oh, heck. What do I do? I don't know. Let me go back to rules. Big deal rule, I don't know. Let's create a rule. Module is for leads, rule name, I guess. And I'm literally doing this on the fly. I've not touched this. Webinar registration. So the idea is you're having a webinar, you want somebody to register, what do you do? All right, here we go. So when a record is created in the leads module, okay, easy enough. So if what? I don't know what. If the lead source is what? I don't know. When there's no drop down, lead source is what? Webinar? Let's do that. Then send alert. Okay, cool. Again, I don't want to bog you down in this video watching this, but how obvious is this? Assigning tasks. I don't know if I would assign a task if somebody registered for a webinar. Would I send an alert? I don't know. Nope. Follow up maybe later. With Infusionsoft, with your campaign builder, it's drag and drop, right? So if I'm going to, I'll just use this screen that I've got. This could be like I was creating before. If I'm going to have a webinar, I'm going to create my web form, webinar registration. I'm going to ask for their first name and email. First name and email. I'm going to send them to a thank you page. As soon as they do that, do I want to be notified or not? That can happen there. Boom, here's the code. I can embed that code right on my site. I can have my webmaster do it. I can use the hosted version. Then if I want to pretty this thing up, I can. So I have my snippets and my field snippets. What other information do I want to ask? Do I want to put in my logo? Great, here we go. Do I want to put in some other image? Great, here we go. I love my little gnome. Look at my little gnome. Hello. What other snippets? Again, so you can pretty this thing up. If you want to have a welcome video, which could be cool, you embed the code there. So you can design this form, make it look any way you want, put in some custom HTML. When you're ready, mark it as ready, and publish it. Okay, but if somebody registers, I'm then going to have my email confirmation, right? I'll have them double opt in. Once they double opt in, I'm then going to tag them as a prospect or tag them as having registered for the webinar. I'm going to send them their confirmation, okay? And then I'm going to set some timers. I'm going to have this delay timer or a field timer. So let's say the webinar is on July 20th, per se. So on the 20th, so next Saturday. On the 19th, the day before, at say 11 a.m. Eastern, I'm going to send them an email that reminds them that the webinar is tomorrow. Hey, don't forget, set your alarm. Now, what if, and this is the key, this constant reminder, this constant follow-ups. I'm then going to run this on the morning of, okay? Same thing, 11 a.m. I'm going to send an email that says, hey, your webinar is this morning. Make sure you get on it, okay? Now, that's leading up to the webinar. Now, I can create an entire series if I wanted to, post-webinar, okay? So I can connect these if I wanted to. Don't necessarily have to. But again, I can set the delay timer. Let's say I'm doing the webinar. So again, I'm doing the webinar on the 20th. Boom. Specific month, July. I can do it that way, or I can use a date timer. Again, run it right there. So the event is on the 20th. Let's say I'm doing it at 11 Eastern. So I can say, at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m., I want to now start a whole nother series. It says, hey, what did you think of it? Here's the links. Here's the special offer. Okay, and have an entire sequence to follow up with them after that webinar. So just this simply drag and drop, make it happen, and then go hit publish. All right. Now compare that to this. What do you want to do? In all of my years of doing this, what I've learned, the hardest thing for individuals to do is to document their processes. To either document what you currently do or document what it is you would like to have happen. Staring at non-intuitive macros, things like this are just not conducive to you growing your business. It's too hard to do. So Zoho will say, hey, look, Infusionsoft over here charges you this kickstart fee, right, to get going. Where's the kickstart? I don't know. But you pay up to $2,000 for your kickstart. But you get help to launch fast, okay, so you can begin making money. And this, okay, great. So you save $9.99 or $19.99. But then what's your time worth? If you're flubbing around here, and it takes you 60, 90, 180 days to really get good. Hey, hold on a second. Let me close the window. Neighbors are mowing. Yeah, close the door. So if it takes you too long to get up and running, and then you still end up having to retain some type of consultant to help you maximize this, you're really doing yourself a disservice. So again, moving through the, so workflows, automation. Again, I'm going to harp it over and over again. Automation is the key. And then, of course, they integrate with their other tools. Fantastic. Infusionsoft's got your Outlook plug-in, got QuickBooks, and then all these other tools, you're going to spend more money to make that happen. Another thing I was working on was their, so about us, again, if you get support, it's overseas. I don't know. I like speaking to somebody here in America to get me some help. So workflow rules we covered, setup, macros, not easy. Creating
it's
leads.
7:15.
The pricing. Their web forms. Oh my goodness. So I was creating one of these, and again, just not pretty. Leave that page. Your automation. Where was it? Website integration. Just not pretty. When you create this thing, so I created one, go in here and edit. So you give it a name, put in your URLs, and then all you can do is select the handful of fields that you want, and then, save and next, and that's it. It gives you this code. It's a very plain Jane type code, and actually I put it over here. Where did I put it? I took a screenshot of it. It was just ugly. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so once this thing was completed, this is all it looked like. This is the default look of a Zoho web form. Please. Again, me not being a coder or developer, me starting this from scratch, it's nice having the drag and drop, the GUI that Infusionsoft gives you when making the web forms, like I showed you a minute ago. And then being limited here, it's a CRM, so it's not built around marketing to help you grow your business. And as Dan Kennedy will always tell you, the number one thing you must do as a business owner is market your business, and the most prized possession you have is your list. Okay, having pipeline management, having contacts in the sky, and this big Rolodex in the sky, that's not the name of the game. The name of the game is documenting your processes and making it easy. Okay, Zoho has those few little steps, but once you get going and you master this program, Infusionsoft is like a mind reader. Right? You can get in here and say, somebody gets a free report, I can deliver it. If they download it, I can tell with these clicks. Boom, follow up, put them into a long-term nurture. If they don't download, if there's no click, I can put timers in here that will that can nurture them, drip on them until they finally click. Then they click to speak with a rep, boom, finish their request, different forms, these what they call decision diamonds, which are basically rules. Where do we assign it? Is this a UK lead, North America lead? Again, this could be a West Coast, East Coast, what have you. What happens if the email bounces? Let me put these rules in here to, again, clean up my database. Stay in touch with those that are responding. Sorry about that. What if, the lead's unqualified, you create that opportunity, close it. You qualify the lead, they're ready. So entire automation through a simple GUI, drag and drop, walk through your entire process from new lead to identified, to raise their hand, to qualified and spoken to, right through the different stages. Hey, what if they make an appointment and they're ready? Fantastic. Hey, things happen all the time. You need to reschedule. Simple click, reschedule, boom, it's knocked out, done. Appointments reset, appointments completed, proposal sent, negotiation. What happens here? Different follow-up sequence, great. Now it's accepted. Now we close. Did you win? Did you lose? Were they not qualified? Long-term nurture, loss sequence, one sequence. Obviously, you're going to do different things if they win versus when they lose. So this is the key. This is the heart and soul of Infusionsoft, is the automation, the simplicity, the drag and drop. So do you want to create web forms like this here in Infusionsoft? Okay. Click, edit, drag, format, get the code, send it to your webmaster. Okay. So do you want to create them this way, change the colors, etc.? Or do you want to take this and then be forced to edit this either on your home page or pay more money to a graphic designer or some other marketing person to make that pretty? That being said, as a CRM, Zoho is fantastic. It's elegant. It's very easy to use. Clicking around, enter a new lead, enter contacts. And most CRMs today, though, are very elegant. Salesforce is elegant, simple. But why is Salesforce buying ExactTarget? Why did ExactTarget buy Pardot? Because they know what Infusionsoft is known for over a decade. Automation is the key. Okay, so if you really want to grow, I don't think you have an option. Stick with Infusionsoft, stick with the Sales Whisperer, and I can help you invest and own and leverage and optimize any of these packages. I've got a team of API developers, web designers. We deal mostly in WordPress, but we can build anything for anybody for the right price. So thanks for watching. I hope this has been beneficial. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought, and please share this with those that you think can benefit. Thank you, and good selling.